I thought grabbing a stranger's hand to escape my ex would be harmless. I was wrong, because the three men I pulled into that darkened hallway weren't just anyone. They were the Castellano triplets, Seattle's most ruthless alpha brothers, billionaires, enemies to each other. And now, 8 weeks later, I'm staring at a positive pregnancy test with no idea which one of them is the father of the pup growing inside me. They all think it's theirs, and I'm too terrified to tell them the truth, that I don't know either. My name is River Hayes, and I've spent the last 5 years of my life trying to be invisible. Being an unbonded omega in a city like Seattle means you learn real quick how to keep your head down, your scent suppressed, and your heart locked up tight. I work double shifts at Lunar Grounds, a coffee shop in Capitol Hill that smells like burnt espresso and broken dreams. I live in a studio apartment with walls so thin I can hear my neighbor's TV through the drywall. I don't go to pack events. I don't date. I definitely don't let alphas get close. Not after what happened with Derek. Derek Montgomery, my high school sweetheart, the alpha who promised me forever, then chose his father's business merger over our bond. He shattered me, walked away like I was nothing. And I swore I'd never let another alpha make me feel that small again. But 8 weeks ago, everything I'd built came crashing down because of one stupid, reckless decision. It was a Friday night in September, and I'd just gotten off a 12-hour shift. My feet ached, my back hurt. All I wanted was to go home, crawl into bed, and pretend the world didn't exist. But Derek had other plans. He was waiting outside Lunar Grounds when I locked up, leaning against his black Mercedes like he owned the whole damn street. His expensive cologne hit me even from 10 feet away, sandalwood and arrogance. "River!" he called out, flashing that smile that used to make my knees weak. "We need to talk." "No, we don't." I turned and started walking the opposite direction. He followed. Of course he did. "Come on, don't be like that. I made a mistake 5 years ago. I was young, stupid." "You were 23, I snapped, spinning around to face him. "Old enough to know exactly what you were doing when you rejected our bond for a merger with the Castellano Empire." His jaw tightened. "That's what I wanted to talk about. The merger fell through. My father—" "I don't care. River, please. Leave me alone." "Derek!" But he grabbed my wrist and something inside me snapped. Panic. Pure, freezing panic. My suppressants were wearing off. I could feel my scent starting to leak through, sweet and vulnerable in a way that would attract every alpha within a 3-block radius. Derek's nostrils flared. His grip tightened. "You're not bonded," he whispered, eyes darkening with realization. "After all these years, you never—" I yanked my arm free and ran. The streets of Capitol Hill blurred around me. Neon signs, car horns, the distant sound of music spilling out from bars I'd never been inside. My heart hammered so hard I thought it might crack my ribs. I needed to disappear. Fast. I turned down Pine Street looking for somewhere, anywhere, to hide when I heard them. Voices, deep, rough, angry voices, coming from the alley entrance ahead. 3 men stood in the shadows, silhouetted against the glow of a streetlight, tall, broad-shouldered, the kind of presence that makes the air feel heavier just by existing. "Don't give a damn what father's will says," one of them growled. "I'm not splitting the company 3 ways." "Then buy us out, Dante," another voice shot back, colder and sharper. "Oh, wait, you can't, because you're broke." "I'm not broke, Luca. I'm liquid poor. There's a difference." The third one laughed, low and dangerous. "You're both idiots. This is exactly why father put me in charge of acquisitions." "Shut up, Xavier." I should have kept walking, should have found another route. But Derek's footsteps were getting closer behind me, and my instincts screamed at me to do something, anything, to make him back off. So I did the single dumbest thing I've ever done in my entire life. I walked straight up to the 3 fighting alphas, grabbed the nearest one by the hand, and pulled him toward me. "There you are, baby," I said loudly, breathlessly. "I've been looking everywhere for you." The man I'd grabbed went completely still. So did his brothers, and so did my entire respiratory system when I finally looked up and saw his face. He was gorgeous in that devastating, unfair way that some alphas are. Dark hair, sharp jawline, eyes the color of smoke in storms. His scent hit me like a freight train, cedar and leather, and something wild I couldn't name. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Do I know you? He asked quietly, his voice rolling through me like distant thunder. I tightened my grip on his hand. Please, I whispered, so low only he could hear. Just play along. Please. His eyes narrowed, then flicked past me to where Derek had just rounded the corner. Understanding flashed across his face, and something else. Something darker. River! Derek called out, jogging toward us. River! Wait! He stopped short when he saw the three alphas surrounding me. His face went pale. Oh, Mr. Castellano, I didn't realize. She's with us, the man holding my hand said flatly. Derek's gaze darted between us. River, you know who these men are, right? They're leaving, said the second brother. The cold one. Luca, I think. He stepped forward, positioning himself between Derek and me. And so are you. I just need 5 minutes to talk to. No? The third brother moved to my other side. Xavier. His presence was quieter than his brother's, but somehow more dangerous. You heard him. She's with us. Derek looked at me one last time, something wounded and angry flickering in his expression. Then he turned and walked away. I waited until he disappeared around the corner before I let out the breath I'd been holding. Thank you, I whispered, pulling my hand free. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your... What's your name? The first one, Dante asked. River. River Hayes. And that alpha who was following you? No one important. Didn't look like no one. I wrapped my arms around myself, suddenly feeling exposed. It's complicated. Complicated how? The kind of complicated that isn't your business. Luca's mouth curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. Fair enough. I should have left right then. Should have thanked them again and walked away. But my suppressants were completely worn off now, and my scent was filling the alley like smoke. All three of them went absolutely still. Their eyes darkened in unison. 3 sets of predatory focus locked directly on me. You're unbonded, Xavier breathed. My pulse skyrocketed. I have to go. Dante caught my wrist, gently, carefully. Wait, let me go. You're in preheat, Lucas said quietly. You can't go out there alone. It's not safe. I'll be fine. River. Dante's thumb brushed against my racing pulse. Let us help you. And God help me, I should have said no. I should have run, but I was so tired of running, so tired of being alone. And they smelled so good. 3 different scents wrapping around me like safety and danger all at once. Okay, I whispered. That was my first mistake. The second was what happened when they led me into the penthouse suite of the Castellano Grand Hotel. The third was waking up the next morning, tangled between all 3 of them, with marks on my skin I didn't remember getting, and a bond I could feel burning in my chest. Fragile and terrifying, and impossible to explain. Because unbonded omegas don't bond to 3 alphas at once. It doesn't work that way. It can't. But 8 weeks later, staring at that positive test in my tiny bathroom, I'm starting to realize that maybe the rules don't apply to me anymore. Maybe they never did. I sink down onto the cold bathroom tile, my legs giving out beneath me. The test clatters from my fingers, landing face up on the floor. 2 pink lines, clear as daylight, undeniable, pregnant. The word doesn't feel real. None of this feels real. My hands shake as I press them against my still flat stomach. There's a life growing inside me, a pup, and I have no idea which of the 3 Castellano brothers put it there. Think, River, think. But I can't think, can't breathe, because all I can see when I close my eyes is that night. Fragments of memory that don't quite fit together like a puzzle with missing pieces. The penthouse had been dark, warm, their scents everywhere, overwhelming my senses until I couldn't tell where one ended and another began. Dante's hands in my hair, tilting my face up. You sure about this? I'd nodded even though I wasn't sure about anything except that I wanted to forget Derek's name. Wanted to feel something other than the emptiness that had been eating me alive for 5 years. Words, sweetheart, Luca had murmured against my throat. We need words. Yes, I'd whispered. Yes, I'm sure. Xavier had been the quietest of the three, watching from the shadows near the window. But when he finally moved closer, when his fingers traced the curve of my jaw, something in his storm-gray eyes made my breath catch. You don't know what you're asking for, he'd said softly. Then show me. And they had. The rest was a blur of heat and touch, and three different voices saying my name like a prayer. I remember Dante's mouth on mine, demanding and desperate. Luca's teeth grazing my shoulder. Xavier's hands steadying me when my knees buckled. I remember feeling safe. I remember feeling claimed. And when I woke up the next morning, alone in that massive bed with marks blooming across my skin like violent flowers, I'd known I'd made a terrible mistake. So I'd run. Again. Grabbed my clothes, didn't leave a note, and disappeared before any of them woke up. A knock on my apartment door makes me jolt so hard I nearly hit my head on the sink. River? My neighbor's voice muffled through the thin walls. You okay in there? I heard something fall. I'm fine, Mrs. Chen. I call back, my voice cracking. Just dropped my phone. You sure? You sound upset. Upset, right. That's one word for it. I'm okay, promise. I wait until I hear her footsteps retreat before I force myself to stand. My reflection in the mirror looks like a stranger. Pale skin, dark circles under my eyes, blonde hair a mess from running my hands through it too many times. What am I going to do? I can't keep this baby. Can't raise a pup alone in this shoebox apartment on a barista's salary. Can't. No. Stop. I press my palms flat against the sink, forcing myself to breathe. Options. I need options. Option 1. Don't tell them. Get an abortion. Pretend none of this ever happened. My chest tightens painfully at the thought. My hand moves to my stomach again, protective and instinctive. No, I can't. Option 2. Tell them. All of them. Let them figure it out. I almost laugh. Yeah, because that would go so well. 3 alphas who can barely be in the same room without threatening to kill each other, all fighting over a pup that might belong to any one of them. Disaster. Option 3. My phone buzzes on the bathroom counter, making me jump. Unknown number. I stare at it for 3 long seconds before I swipe to answer. Hello? River Hayes? The voice is unfamiliar. Professional. Female. Who's asking? My name is Victoria Cross. I'm the personal attorney for the Castellano family. I'm calling on behalf of Dante, Luca, and Xavier Castellano. My blood turns to ice. How did you get this number? The Castellanos are very resourceful, Ms. Hayes. They've been looking for you for 8 weeks. They'd like to meet with you. Today, if possible. No. Ms. Hayes, I said no. I don't want to see them. Tell them to leave me alone. I'm afraid that's not possible. Why not? There's a pause. When Victoria speaks again, her tone is careful, almost sympathetic. Because you were seen leaving their penthouse the morning of September 14th, and according to Omegaverse law in Washington state, any unbonded Omega who spends a heat cycle with an alpha has the right to claim bond recognition. The Castellanos are prepared to honor that claim. What? I wasn't in heat, I say quickly. I was in preheat. There's a difference. The marks on your body suggest otherwise, Ms. Hayes. Multiple witnesses can testify to your scent in the hotel that night. If you'd like to dispute the claim, we can take this to Pat Court. But I should warn you, I'm not disputing anything because there's nothing to dispute. My voice rises, panic clawing up my throat. It was one night, a mistake. I don't want their bond recognition or their money or their... They're not offering money. They're offering protection. From what? From Derek Montgomery. Everything stops. What did you just say? Victoria's voice drops lower. Mr. Montgomery filed a formal complaint with the Seattle Pack Council 3 days ago, claiming that you were coerced into spending the night with the Castellanos against your will. He's demanding an investigation, and if the council rules in his favor, you could face serious legal consequences for breaking your previous bond contract with... I never had a bond contract with Derek. He rejected me. Do you have documentation of that rejection? I close my eyes. No, of course I don't. Because Derek had done it privately. No witnesses, no official filing, just him breaking my heart in a parking lot and walking away like it meant nothing. Ms. Hayes, the Castellanos can protect you from this, but they need to speak with you first. Today, 2 p.m. at their office in downtown Seattle. Will you come? I look down at the pregnancy test still lying on my bathroom floor. 2 pink lines, 3 alphas, 1 impossible choice. Fine, I whisper. I'll be there. Excellent. I'll send a car. No, I'll take the bus. Ms. Hayes, that's not... I hang up. Then I slide down the wall, wrap my arms around my knees and let myself shake. What have I done? The shaking doesn't stop. Not when I force myself to stand. Not when I splash cold water on my face. Not when I pull on jeans and a hoodie, trying to hide the way my hands won't stay steady. I catch my reflection again, pale, terrified, trapped. You don't have to go, but I do, because Derek is trying to destroy me, and somehow the 3 alphas I spent one reckless night with are the only ones standing between me and total ruin. The irony isn't lost on me. I grab my phone, my keys, and walk out the door before I can talk myself out of it. The number 49 bus smells like stale coffee and wet concrete. I press my forehead against the window, watching Seattle blur past. Gray buildings, gray sky, gray everything. My stomach churns, but I don't know if it's morning sickness or pure dread. Probably both. Downtown looms closer with every stop. The Castellano Industries Tower cuts through the skyline like a blade. 60 floors of steel and glass that screams money and power and everything I've spent my whole life avoiding. My phone buzzes. Another unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me swipe. River! Dante's voice pours through the speaker, rough and familiar in a way that makes my chest tight. Victoria said you're taking the bus. Tell me which one. I'll come get you. No. River. I said no, Dante. I'll get there when I get there. It's raining. You're going to get soaked. I glance out the window. He's right. Fat drops are starting to streak down the glass. I'll survive. Stubborn, he mutters, but there's something almost affectionate in his tone. You know we've been looking for you, right? For 8 weeks. Do you have any idea what that's been like? Good, I want to say. You should know what it feels like to be left behind. But I don't say that. Instead, why were you looking? Silence. Long enough that I think he might have hung up. Then, because you ran. So? So Omegas don't run after a night like that unless something's wrong. His voice drops lower, almost gentle. Did we hurt you? My throat closes up. No. Then why? Because I don't do this, Dante. I don't sleep with alphas I just met. I don't let strangers mark me. I stop, biting down hard on the words trying to escape. I don't get pregnant by triplets I can't tell apart in the dark. River, whatever you're scared of, we can... I hang up. My hands are shaking worse now. The bus drops me 3 blocks away. Dante was right about the rain. It soaks through my hoodie in seconds, plastering my hair to my face. By the time I push through the glass doors of Castellano Industries, I'm dripping water all over their pristine marble floors. The receptionist looks up, her perfect smile faltering when she sees me. I'm here to see the Castellanos, I say before she can ask. Do you have an appointment? Victoria Cross called me. Recognition flashes across her face. She picks up the phone, murmurs something I can't hear, then nods. 60th floor. Someone will meet you at the elevator. I nod and head toward the elevator bank, very aware of the water pooling in my sneakers with every step. This is humiliating. The elevator ride feels endless. My reflection in the polished doors looks like something dragged out of a river, which, given my name, feels cosmically unfair. When the doors open on the 60th floor, Luca is waiting. He's wearing a charcoal suit that probably costs more than my rent. His dark hair is perfectly styled. His ice blue eyes sweep over me, wet, shivering, defiant, and something flickers in his expression. You look like hell, he says. Thanks. You look like a corporate robot. We both have our crosses to bear. His mouth twitches, almost a smile. Come on. Conference room's this way. I follow him through a maze of glass-walled offices. People stare as we pass. I don't blame them. I'm leaving a literal trail of water behind me like the world's saddest breadcrumb path. Luca opens a door at the end of the hall and gestures me inside. The conference room is massive, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. A table that could seat 20, and standing at the far end, silhouetted against the rain-streaked glass, Dante and Xavier. They both turn when I walk in. The air shifts, thickens. Oh, God. I'd forgotten what it felt like to be in a room with all three of them. How their combined presence makes everything feel smaller, heavier, charged with something I don't have a name for. Dante moves first. He crosses the room in 3 long strides, shrugging out of his suit jacket. You're soaked. Observant. He drapes the jacket over my shoulders anyway. It's warm from his body heat and smells like cedar and something uniquely him. I want to hate how good it feels. I can't afford to feel good right now. Xavier steps closer, his storm gray eyes scanning my face. You've been crying. No, I haven't. Your eyes are red. It's allergies. River, can we just get this over with? I snap, pulling away from both of them. Your lawyer said Derek's trying to cause problems. Fine. Tell me what you need me to do to make him go away, and I'll do it. Then we can all move on with our lives. The three of them exchange looks. Some silent conversation I'm not part of. Luca closes the conference room door, locks it. My pulse spikes. What are you doing? Making sure we're not interrupted, Luca says calmly. He leans against the door, arms crossed. Because we need to talk. Really talk. And you need to stop running long enough to listen. I'm not running. You ran 8 weeks ago, Dante cuts in. His voice is rough, almost angry. Didn't leave a note. Didn't answer any of our calls. Do you know what that did to us? I don't owe you an explanation. The hell you don't. He steps closer. Too close. I can feel the heat radiating off him. You let us mark you. You bonded with us. I didn't bond with anyone. Then explain the marks, River. Explain why your scent has been burned into my head for 8 weeks. Explain why I can't sleep, can't think, can't function because all I can remember is the way you said my name. Stop. And the way you felt in my arms. Stop. And then you vanished like none of it mattered. My hands curl into fists. It didn't matter. It was one night. A mistake. Xavier moves then, silent as smoke. He positions himself behind me, not touching, but close enough that I can feel him there. If it was a mistake, he says quietly, his breath ghosting across the back of my neck, then why are you shaking? I am. My whole body is trembling. From cold, from fear, from something else I refuse to name. Because I'm wet and freezing, and I don't want to be here. Liar, Lucas says from the door. Excuse me? He pushes off the wall, stalking toward me with predatory grace. You're shaking because you feel it too. The pull, the bond. You can deny it all you want, but your body knows the truth. There is no bond. Then let us get close, Dante challenges. If there's nothing between us, it shouldn't bother you, right? He reaches for me. I jerk back, straight into Xavier's chest. His arms come up instinctively, steadying me. And the moment his hands touch my waist, everything inside me ignites. No, 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 no. Let go, I whisper. Not until you admit it, Xavier murmurs against my ear. My knees almost buckle. Admit what? That you're ours. The words sink into my skin like claws. I shove away from Xavier hard enough that he actually lets me go. I whirl around, backing up until I hit the conference table, needing distance, needing air, needing them to stop looking at me like I'm something precious they lost and found again. I'm not I bite out. I'm not anyone's. Your scent says different, Luca observes, tilting his head. You're distressed, scared, but underneath that, his nostrils flare slightly. You want us to come closer. That's not, I don't. Stop lying to yourself. Dante's voice is softer now, but somehow that makes it worse, more dangerous. We can all smell it, sweetheart. The way your body responds when we're near. That's not just chemistry. That's a bond trying to complete itself. No. I can't let them believe that. Can't let this go any further before I tell them the truth. But the truth is trapped in my throat, choking me. You don't know anything about me, I manage. Then tell us. Xavier moves around the table, approaching from a different angle, flanking me. Tell us why you ran. Tell us what scared you so badly that you couldn't even leave a note. Because I woke up covered in marks from 3 different alphas, and I couldn't remember who touched me where. Because I felt claimed and terrified, and so far out of my depth I couldn't breathe. Because I knew if I stayed one more second, I'd never be able to leave. I don't owe you my trauma, I say instead. No, Luca agrees, but you owe us honesty. We spent 8 weeks thinking we'd done something wrong. Hurt you somehow. Pushed too far? You didn't. Then what? The pregnancy test burns in my mind. 2 pink lines. The secret growing inside me, cell by cell, while I stand here drowning in their combined presence. Tell them. Just tell them. But before I can open my mouth, Dante's phone buzzes. He glances at it. His expression darkens immediately. Derek's outside. Everything in me goes cold. What? He's in the lobby, demanding to see you. How did he? Probably followed you. Luca's already moving toward the door. I'll have security remove him. No. I don't know why I say it. Maybe because I'm tired of running, tired of hiding, tired of letting Derek Montgomery control my life from the shadows. Let him come up. All 3 of them turn to stare at me. Absolutely not, Dante says flatly. He's going to keep coming after me until I face him. You know that. We'll handle Derek, Xavier says, his voice dropping into something lethal. You don't have to. Yes, I do. I straighten my spine even though I'm still shaking. This is my mess. Let me clean it up. Dante looks like he wants to argue, but something in my expression must convince him, because he nods slowly. Fine, but we're staying in the room. I wouldn't expect anything less. Luca makes a call. Less than 3 minutes later, the conference room door opens, and Derek walks in. He looks exactly the same. Same perfectly styled brown hair, same expensive suit, same smile that used to make me feel safe, and now just makes me feel sick. His eyes find me immediately. River, thank God. When I heard you were here with them, I thought. Thought what? I cut him off. That I needed saving? He falters. Well, yes. These men are dangerous, River. Their family has a reputation for being ruthless in business, I finish. I know. Everyone knows. But they haven't done anything to hurt me, which is more than I can say for you. His jaw tightens. That's not fair. Fair? I almost laugh. You want to talk about fair? You rejected our bond 5 years ago for a business deal, Derek. You broke me. And now you're trying to drag me into pack court because I spent one night with someone who isn't you. That's not what this is about. Then what is it about? He glances at the 3 alphas positioned around the room like sentries. Can we talk privately? No, Dante says before I can answer. Derek's eyes flash. This doesn't concern you, Castellano. Everything about River concerns us now. Luca's voice is ice cold. So whatever you came here to say it in front of everyone or leave. Derek's hands curl into fists, but he turns back to me and something in his expression shifts, softens. Oh no. I made a mistake, he says quietly. 5 years ago, I chose wrong. I've regretted it every single day since. And when I saw you that night, when I realized you were still unbonded, I thought maybe we could fix this. Start over. My stomach drops. You can't be serious. I am. River, I never stopped loving you. Never stopped thinking about what we could have been. He takes a step closer. Come home with me. We can make this right. Get a bonding ceremony. Do it properly this time. She's already bonded, Xavier says quietly. The room goes silent. Derek's face drains of color. What? You heard me. Xavier's storm gray eyes are locked on Derek like a predator sizing up prey. River bonded with us 8 weeks ago. Whatever claim you think you have on her ended the moment she accepted our marks. No, he can't say that. That's not true, Derek breathes, looking at me with something like betrayal. River, tell him that's not true. And this is it. This is the moment where I have to choose. Lie and protect myself, or tell the truth and let everything shatter. I look at Derek, at the alpha who broke me, and now wants me back like I'm some toy he left behind. Then I look at Dante, Luca, and Xavier. Three men I barely know. Three men who've been hunting for me for 8 weeks. Three men who make my body react in ways I can't control and don't understand. Three men, one of whom put a pup inside me. My hand moves to my stomach, just for a second. A protective gesture I can't stop, but it's enough. Luca's eyes track the movement. His expression shifts, understanding dawning like a sunrise. No, he can't know. Not yet. River, Luca says slowly, carefully. When was the last time you had a heat? My pulse explodes. That's none of your business. Answer the question. Luca, Dante starts. No. Luca cuts him off, his ice blue eyes never leaving mine. She's been distressed since she walked in here. Shaking, nauseous, protective. He takes one step forward, and her scent is different, sweeter, richer. Oh, God. You're pregnant, he says. It's not a question. Derek makes a choke sound. What? Dante goes completely still. Xavier's hands clench at his sides. And I can't breathe, can't move, can't do anything except stand there while my entire world implodes around me. River, Dante's voice is hoarse. Is it true? Four alphas staring at me. Four different expressions: shock, betrayal, hope, rage, and me, trapped in the center of it all with a secret I can't keep anymore. Yes, I whisper. The word falls like a bomb. Derek staggers back. Please tell me it's not theirs. Please tell me you didn't. 8 weeks, Luca cuts in, his voice deadly calm. Same timeline as the night she spent with us. It could be anyone's, Derek shouts. She could have been with... I wasn't with anyone else, I snap, something fierce and protective rising in my chest. I haven't been with anyone since you destroyed me 5 years ago. So yes, Derek, it's theirs. One of theirs. I don't know which one, but it sure as hell isn't yours. His face goes white, then red. You're making a mistake. The only mistake I made was ever believing you loved me. My voice doesn't shake anymore. Get out. River, get out. For a moment, I think he might refuse, might push back. But then Xavier moves, silent, lethal, positioning himself between Derek and me. She told you to leave, he says softly. Don't make me repeat it. Derek looks between us one last time. Then he turns and walks out, slamming the door behind him hard enough to rattle the windows. And then it's just us, me and three alphas who now know I'm carrying a pup. Their pup. Dante speaks first. His voice is raw, broken. Why didn't you tell us? The question hangs in the air like smoke. I want to answer, want to explain, but my throat is closed up tight, and all I can do is stand here with Dante's jacket still draped over my shoulders, feeling like I'm about to shatter into 1,000 pieces. River! Luca's voice cuts through the silence, sharp and controlled. How long have you known? Does it matter? Yes, it damn well matters. Dante explodes, and I flinch. He sees it, and something in his expression cracks. He runs a hand through his dark hair, visibly trying to rein himself in. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. He stops, breathes. Just tell us, please. I took the test this morning, I whisper. Xavier moves closer, not touching, but close enough that I can feel the heat of him. This morning, and Victoria called you right after. It's not a question, but I nod anyway. So you found out you were pregnant, got a call from our lawyer about Derek's complaint, and decided to come here anyway. Luca tilts his head, studying me like I'm a puzzle he can't quite solve. That took guts. Or stupidity, I mutter. No. Xavier's hand comes up slowly, telegraphing the movement before his fingers brush my chin, tilting my face up to meet his eyes. Bravery? You're terrified right now, I can smell it. But you came anyway. I jerk away from his touch before I do something stupid like lean into it. Don't. Don't what? Don't be gentle with me. Don't act like you care. This doesn't change anything. It changes everything, Dante says roughly. You're carrying our pup. One of your pups, I correct. We don't know whose. The three of them go still. Does it matter? Xavier asks quietly. I laugh and it sounds broken even to my own ears. Of course it matters. You three can barely stand to be in the same room without trying to kill each other. What do you think is going to happen when one of you finds out the baby is yours and the other two aren't? Silence. Because they know I'm right. Lucas speaks first, his voice measured. There are tests. We can find out. No. River. I said no. I wrap my arms around myself, suddenly freezing despite Dante's jacket. I'm not turning my baby into some prize for you three to fight over. I won't do it. Then what do you want? Dante asks, and there's something desperate in his tone that makes my chest ache. Tell us what you want, and we'll make it happen. What do I want? I want to go back 8 weeks and make different choices. I want Derek to have never found me. I want to not be standing in this room feeling like my heart is being pulled in 3 different directions at once. But most of all, I want to know which one of you orchestrated that night, I say quietly. The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. What are you talking about? Luca's expression is carefully blank. Don't. I meet his ice blue eyes head on. Don't insult me by pretending. I've had 8 weeks to think about it. About how convenient it was that you three just happened to be in that alley. How perfectly Derek's timing lined up. How none of you seemed surprised when I grabbed Dante's hand. Xavier's jaw tightens. Dante looks away. And Luca? Luca smiles. It's not a nice smile. You're smarter than I gave you credit for, he says. My stomach drops. So it's true, you planned it. Not all of it. He moves closer, predatory and precise. We knew Derek was going to approach you that night. We've had someone watching him since he started making noise about wanting you back. But what you did, grabbing Dante, pulling him close, that was all you, sweetheart. We just took advantage of the opportunity you gave us. Rage floods through me, hot and vicious. You used me. We protected you, Dante cuts in. Derek was going to force a bond claim, whether you wanted it or not. We stopped him. By manipulating me into sleeping with you. By giving you a choice. Xavier's voice is quiet, but there's steel underneath. You could have walked away at any point that night. We made sure of it. Asked for consent. Gave you every chance to say no. And I was in preheat, my voice cracks. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were clear enough to say yes, Lucas says coldly. Clear enough to ask us to show you. Clear enough to say our names when we... Stop. I press my hands over my ears like a child. Just stop. But Luca doesn't stop. He closes the distance between us, pulling my hands away from my ears with surprising gentleness. You want to be angry at us? Fine, be angry. But don't lie to yourself about what happened that night. Don't pretend you didn't want it just as badly as we did. I try to pull away. He doesn't let me. You felt it then, he murmurs, his breath ghosting across my face. The same thing you're feeling right now. The pull, the need, the way your body knows it belongs with us, even when your mind is screaming at you to run. Let go of me. No. Luca, I can feel your pulse racing. His thumb presses against my wrist, right over the vein. Is that fear or something else? Both. It's both, and I hate him for knowing it. Dante moves in on my other side. We've been going crazy for 8 weeks, River. Do you understand that? We could smell you on our sheets, in our clothes, in our goddamn skin, but we couldn't find you. And now you're here, telling us you're pregnant with our pup, and you expect us to just... What? Let you walk away again? Yes, I breathe. That's not going to happen, Xavier says from behind me. I'm surrounded, trapped between 3 alphas whose combined scent is making my head spin and my knees weak. You can't keep me here, I say, but it sounds weak even to my ears. Can't we? Luca's smile is sharp. You're carrying an unbonded pup in a city where Derek Montgomery is actively trying to claim you through pack court. Without our protection, you'll lose everything. Your freedom, your pup, maybe even your life. Depending on how vindictive Derek wants to be. You're trying to scare me. I'm telling you the truth. His grip on my wrist gentles, becomes almost tender. Stay with us. Let us protect you. Let us take care of you and the pup. All 3 of you? All 3 of us, Dante confirms. I shake my head, even as my treacherous body leans toward them. That's not how it works. Omegas don't bond to multiple alphas. Normal omegas don't, Xavier interrupts quietly. But you're not normal, are you? We all marked you that night. We all scented you. And somehow, impossibly, all three marks took. I've never heard of it happening before. But it happened with you. My breath catches. That's not... It can't... Your body knows what your mind won't accept, Lucas says softly. He releases one of my wrists to cup my face, his thumb tracing my cheekbone. You're ours, River. All of ours. And that pup you're carrying, it doesn't matter whose genetics it shares. It's ours too. All of ours. Tears burn behind my eyes. You're insane. Probably, Dante agrees. His hand settles on my lower back, warm and steady. But we're your kind of insane, aren't we? And God help me. He's right, because despite everything, the manipulation, the lies, the impossibility of it all, some broken, desperate part of me wants to say yes, wants to let them catch me, wants to stop running and just surrender. I need time, I whisper. How much time? Xavier asks. I don't know. A day. A week. I can't think when you're all this close. Then we'll give you space, Lucas says, stepping back. It clearly costs him, but he does it. But not much, and not far. You're staying in one of our properties until this thing with Derek is resolved. I have an apartment that Derek knows the address to, Dante cuts in. Non-negotiable, sweetheart. You want space? Fine. But you're getting it somewhere we know you're safe. I should argue, should fight. But I'm so tired, and my apartment really isn't safe anymore. Fine, I breathe, but I want my own room and my own space, and you three stay away from me until I figure out what I'm going to do. The three of them exchange looks. Deal, Lucas says finally. But the way he's looking at me, like he's already planning how to break that deal, makes my skin prickle with awareness. I mean it, I add, trying to sound firm. No surprise visits. No showing up at my door. No. We heard you. Dante shrugs out of his shirt sleeves, rolling them up to his forearms. The motion is casual, but I can't help tracking the movement. Can't help noticing the strength in his hands, the marks on his knuckles like he's been in a fight recently. Xavier will take you to the penthouse. It's secure, private. Derek won't be able to get within 100 feet without us knowing. The penthouse. My voice goes up an octave. As in the same penthouse where we... Yes, Xavier says simply. Absolutely not. River. No, I'm not going back there. Find somewhere else. Luca's mouth curves into something that's almost a smile. Scared of the memories? Scared of making new ones I'll regret. I shoot back. The smile widens. Fair enough. We have a property in Queen Anne. Townhouse, 3 bedrooms, fully furnished. Will that work? I want to say no. Want to demand they let me go back to my tiny studio apartment with the thin walls and the neighbor who watches too much TV? But Derek knows where I live. And these 3 frustrating, infuriating, impossible alphas are right about one thing. I'm not safe there anymore. Fine, I mutter. Queen Anne. But I'm serious about the space thing. Noted. Xavier moves toward the door, pulling out his phone. I'll have someone bring the car around. And pack some of your things, Dante adds. Clothes, toiletries, whatever you need. Just give us your address. I'll pack my own things, I interrupt. I don't need you going through my stuff. His eyes gleam with something that might be amusement. Afraid we'll find something interesting? Afraid you'll overstep even more than you already have. Too late for that. Sweetheart, the endearment makes something warm and unwanted curl in my chest. I shove it down ruthlessly. Stop calling me that. Why? He steps closer, and I hate that I don't step back. Does it bother you? Yes. Liar. His hand comes up, fingers ghosting along my jaw so lightly I might have imagined it. It bothers you because you like it, because some part of you, the part you keep trying to lock away, wants to hear us say it again and again until you believe it. My breath catches. You don't know anything about what I want. Then tell me I'm wrong. His thumb brushes my lower lip, and heat floods through me so fast it makes me dizzy. Tell me you don't feel this, that you don't want us just as badly as we want you. I should push him away, should tell him to go to hell. But I can't, because he's right, and we both know it. This is a bad idea, I whisper instead. Probably. He leans in, his breath warm against my ear. But you're going to let us try anyway, aren't you? Xavier drives. I sit in the passenger seat, staring out the window at the Seattle skyline, and trying very hard not to think about the Alpha beside me. He hasn't said a word since we left Castellano Industries. Just opened the car door for me, waited until I buckled in, and pulled out into traffic with the kind of precision that suggests he's done this route 1,000 times. The silence should be comfortable. It's not. It's charged. Electric. Like the air before a lightning strike. You're quiet, I finally say, because I can't stand it anymore. So are you. I don't know what to say. Then don't say anything. His hands are relaxed on the steering wheel, but there's tension in his shoulders. You don't owe me conversation, River. Is that what you want? Silence? He glances at me briefly before returning his eyes to the road. What I want is for you to stop looking so terrified. I'm not terrified. Your scent says otherwise. I wrap my arms around myself, suddenly self-conscious. Can you all really smell everything I'm feeling? Most of it, yes. He takes a turn smoothly, heading toward Queen Anne. Fear, anger, arousal. I am not aroused, I say too quickly. The corner of his mouth twitches. If you say so. Heat floods my cheeks. This is humiliating. It's honest. He pulls up to a red light, and this time when he looks at me, he doesn't look away. You spend so much energy trying to hide, River, trying to be invisible, but we see you anyway. All of you. That's what I'm afraid of. The light turns green. He drives. Can I ask you something? His voice is quieter now, almost hesitant. Depends on the question. That night, when you woke up and we were all still asleep, why did you run? I close my eyes, but the memory comes anyway. Sunlight streaming through the penthouse windows. 3 bodies tangled in silk sheets. Marks on my skin that I didn't remember getting. And the overwhelming, suffocating certainty that I'd just made the biggest mistake of my life. Because I was scared, I admit. I didn't know who I was anymore. Didn't recognize the person who would do something that reckless. And when I looked at the 3 of you, my voice breaks. I couldn't tell which one of you had held me when I cried. Which one whispered that I was safe. Which one made me feel like maybe, just maybe, I deserved to be wanted. Xavier's hands tighten on the wheel. It was all of us, he says roughly. We all held you. We all told you that you were safe. We all wanted you, want you, more than anything we've ever wanted in our lives. Tears prick at my eyes. That's the problem. Your brothers, triplets. You shouldn't want the same person. It's not. It doesn't work like that. Maybe it doesn't work like that for other people. He pulls into a driveway, putting the car in park. But it works like that for us. I look up at the townhouse. It's beautiful. Red brick, black shutters, flower boxes in the windows, even though it's almost winter. The kind of place I used to dream about living in before life taught me that dreams were just another kind of cage. This is too much, I whisper. It's not enough. Xavier unbuckles his seatbelt, turning to face me fully. River, look at me. I do. God help me, I do. We're not going to force you into anything, he says, and there's an intensity in his storm gray eyes that makes my heart stutter. You want space? We'll give you space. You want time? We'll give you time. But don't ask us to stop wanting you. Don't ask us to pretend that pup growing inside you doesn't matter, because it does. You do. Why? The word comes out broken. Why me? You could have anyone. Why does it have to be? He kisses me. It's not rough, not demanding, just his mouth against mine, soft and sure and devastating in its gentleness. And I kiss him back. My hands come up to his chest, fisting in his shirt. His arms wrap around me, pulling me closer across the console. And for just a moment, one perfect, terrible moment, I let myself pretend that this could work, that 3 alphas could want the same omega, that I could be enough for all of them, that I could be enough for myself. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. That's why, Xavier murmurs against my lips. Because when I touch you, the world makes sense. And I know my brothers feel the same way. I should pull away, should tell him this can't happen again. But I don't. Instead, I rest my forehead against his and whisper, I'm so scared. I know. His hand comes up to cradle the back of my head. But you're not alone anymore. You don't have to be. A car door slams somewhere nearby, making us both jump. Luca and Dante are standing on the sidewalk, watching us through the windshield with identical expressions of hunger and possession. We should go inside, Xavier says quietly. You said you'd give me space. We will. He pulls back, but his hand finds mine, fingers lacing together. After we make sure you're settled, after we know you're safe, then we'll go. Liar, I think, but I let him lead me out of the car anyway. Let all three of them surround me as we walk up the steps. Let myself imagine, just for a second, what it would feel like to stop fighting. The front door opens, and I step inside my new cage, gilded and beautiful and absolutely terrifying. The interior is worse than I imagined. Hardwood floors that gleam in the afternoon light, exposed brick walls, a kitchen with marble countertops and appliances that probably cost more than I make in a year. Floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook the sound. It's perfect. I hate it. The master bedroom is upstairs, Luca says, moving past me with the easy confidence of someone who owns everything he touches. 2 guest rooms on the second floor, 1 on the third. Take your pick. Third floor, I say immediately. Dante raises an eyebrow. That's the smallest room. I don't need much space. You need more than a closet with a bed in it, he argues. The master has a bathroom with a soaking tub. You're pregnant. You should. I'm 8 weeks pregnant, not an invalid. I pull away from Xavier's grip, needing distance, needing to prove I can still stand on my own. Third floor is fine. The three of them exchange one of those silent looks that makes me want to scream. What? I snap. Nothing, Luca says smoothly. Xavier, show her the third floor. Dante and I will get her things from her apartment. I didn't give you my address. His smile is sharp. We've had your address for 6 weeks, sweetheart. How do you think we knew Derek was watching your building? Ice floods my veins. You've been stalking me. Protecting you, Dante corrects. There's a difference. Not from where I'm standing. River, Xavier starts. No. I back up until I hit the wall, my hands shaking with rage and something that feels dangerously close to betrayal. You don't get to do this. You don't get to manipulate me into sleeping with you, knock me up, and then act like you have some claim on my life just because we marked you, Luca interrupts, his voice going cold. Because our scent is in your skin and your scent is in ours. Because that pup you're carrying has our genetics, our bond, our... You don't know that. The words rip out of me. You don't know anything about this baby except that it exists. It could be anyone's. It's not anyone's. Dante moves closer, and there's something dangerous in his dark eyes. It's ours, and deep down, you know that. You've known it since the moment you saw those 2 pink lines. My hand moves to my stomach instinctively, protectively. He sees it. They all see it. You want to be angry at us? Dante's voice drops lower, rougher. Fine, be angry, scream, throw things. Tell us we're controlling assholes who don't deserve you, because you're right, we don't. But that's not going to change the fact that you're ours now. That baby is ours, and we will burn down anyone and anything that tries to take either of you away from us. The certainty in his voice should scare me. Instead, it makes something deep in my chest crack wide open. I can't do this, I whisper. Can't do what? This. Any of this. I can't be what you need me to be. Xavier moves then, closing the distance between us with that silent grace of his. His hand comes up to cup my face, tilting it so I have to meet his eyes. What do you think we need you to be? He asks softly. Perfect. Obedient. Someone who doesn't question or fight or... We don't want perfect. His thumb traces my cheekbone, catching a tear I didn't know had fallen. We want you. Messy, scared, angry you. The you who grabbed my brother's hand in a dark alley. The you who demanded we show you what you'd been missing. The you who's standing here right now, terrified and furious, and so goddamn brave it makes my chest hurt. Another tear falls, then another. I don't feel brave or how I admit. You are anyway. He leans in, pressing his forehead to mine. And we're not going to let you fall apart. Not alone. Not ever again. You can't promise that. Watch us. If you were carrying a pup and didn't know which alpha was the father, would you tell them or run? Luca's phone buzzes, shattering the moment. He glances at it, and his expression darkens immediately. What? Dante demands. Derek filed an emergency petition with the Pack Council. Luca's voice is ice cold. He's claiming River was coerced into our bond under duress. He wants it dissolved. My stomach drops. He can't do that. He can try. Luca's fingers fly across his phone screen. Victoria's already on it, but we need to move fast. If the council grants a hearing, they could take the baby. I breathe. All three of them go absolutely still. Over my dead body, Dante says quietly. They won't take anything, Xavier adds, his arms tightening around me. But River, we need you to trust us. Can you do that? Trust them. The three alphas who manipulated me, stalked me, and are now asking me to hand over what's left of my freedom. I should say no, should run again, as far and as fast as I can. But Derek's face flashes in my mind. The way he looked at me in that conference room, like I was property he'd lost and now wanted back. And I realized something. I'm tired of running from the wrong people. What do you need me to do? I ask. Relief floods Luca's face. We need to make the bond official. Paperwork, documentation, proof that you chose us willingly. All three of you? All three of us, he confirms. That's not... Is that even legal? In Washington state, an omega can bond to multiple alphas if all parties consent, and the bond is registered within 90 days of first marking. Luca's already pulling up forms on his phone. We're at 56 days, cutting it close, but doable. My head spins. This is insane. Probably, Dante agrees. But it's the only way to protect you and the pup from Derek's claim. Once the bond is registered, he has no legal standing. And what happens to me? I ask quietly. Once I sign those papers, what happens to my life? Xavier's hand finds mine, lacing our fingers together. Whatever you want to happen. We're not trying to cage you, River. We're trying to set you free. By binding me to three alphas I barely know? By giving you the choice Derek never did, Luca says. Sign the papers, make it official, and then decide what kind of relationship you want with us. We'll follow your lead. I look at each of them in turn. Dante, rough and passionate, and wearing his heart on his sleeve. Luca, cold and calculating, but with something soft hidden underneath. Xavier, quiet and intense and devastating in his gentleness. Three brothers, three alphas. Three men who somehow want me enough to share. This is the part where I'm supposed to say no, I think, where I protect myself, but maybe I'm tired of protecting myself. Maybe I'm ready to let someone else carry the weight for a while. Okay, I whisper. I'll sign. The relief that floods their faces is almost painful to witness. Thank you, Dante breathes. Don't thank me yet. I pull away from Xavier, needing space to think. I'm signing the papers, but that's it. I'm not promising anything else. Not until I figure out what the hell I'm doing. Fair enough, Luca says. But the way they're all looking at me, like I'm something precious they've been searching for their entire lives, makes my heart pound against my ribs. I need to lie down, I say abruptly. It's been a really long day. Third floor, Xavier reminds me gently. I'll show you. We climb in silence. Second floor, third floor. The stairs narrow as we go up, and by the time we reach the top, I'm slightly breathless. Xavier opens the door to reveal a small room with slanted ceilings and a window that overlooks the street. There's a bed with white linens, a dresser, a reading chair in the corner. It's simple. It's perfect. Thank you, I say quietly. He nods and starting to leave. Xavier? He stops in the doorway looking back. Why did you kiss me? In the car? You didn't have to do that. His storm gray eyes hold mine. Because I've been wanting to since the moment you walked into that conference room, soaking wet and furious. Because you look like you needed to know that someone sees you, really sees you. And because I'm selfish enough to take what I can get, heat floods through me. That's honest. I'm always honest with you, River, even when the truth is ugly. He pauses. Get some rest. We'll bring your things up when we get back from your apartment. Okay. He closes the door softly behind him, and I'm alone. Finally, blessedly alone. I sink onto the bed, my hand moving to my stomach. What have I gotten us into? I whisper to the tiny life growing inside me. The baby doesn't answer, but somewhere downstairs I hear the front door open and close. Hear Dante and Luca leaving to collect my things. Hear Xavier moving around the kitchen, opening cabinets, starting what sounds like coffee. And I realize with startling clarity that for the first time in 5 years, I'm not alone anymore. I just don't know if that's a blessing or a curse. I lie back on the bed, staring at the slanted ceiling. The wood beams are exposed, dark against white plaster. Beautiful. Carefully constructed. Just like everything else in this house that's meant to keep me here. But I agreed to stay, a voice whispers in my head. I chose this. Did I, though? Or did they just back me into a corner until staying was the only option that made sense? My phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull it out, expecting another unknown number. It's not. It's a text from my manager at Lunar Grounds. Maria. Hey, hon. Some guy came by looking for you today. Tall, brown hair, expensive suit. Said he was an old friend. Didn't feel right, so I told him you quit. Hope that's okay? My hands start shaking. Derek went to my work. Derek knows where I work, where I live, probably where I get my groceries and my prescriptions, and another buzz. Maria. Also, this is probably weird, but there were 3 other guys who came by right after. They said they were your cousins, left a very generous tip, and told me to call this number if the first guy comes back. She includes a phone number. I don't recognize it, but I'd bet everything I own that it belongs to one of the Castellano brothers. They really have been watching me. I should be furious. Should feel violated. Instead, I feel something uncomfortably close to relief. Because Maria is 60 years old with bad knees and a heart condition, and if Derek had pushed her, had threatened her to get information about me, I can't finish the thought. I text Maria back quickly. Me. Thank you for covering for me. I'm okay. Those 3 guys really are family. Kind of. It's complicated. I'll explain when I can. Her response is immediate. Maria. As long as you're safe, honey, and if those cousins are single, you let me know. That one with the gray eyes could get it. Despite everything, I laugh. It comes out watery and broken, but it's still a laugh. Me. I'll pass along the message. I drop the phone on the bed and close my eyes. The exhaustion hits me all at once, bone deep and overwhelming. I haven't slept properly in days, haven't eaten a real meal, haven't stopped moving long enough to process any of this. But now in this quiet room with afternoon light streaming through the window, my body finally gives up the fight. Just for a few minutes, I tell myself. I'll rest for a few minutes, and then I'll figure out what comes next. I don't remember falling asleep. I'm back in the penthouse. But this time, I remember everything. Dante's hands in my hair, tilting my face up. You're so beautiful when you let go. Luca's mouth on my throat, teeth grazing sensitive skin. Stop thinking. Just feel. Xavier behind me, his arms wrapped around my waist. We've got you. We won't let you fall. There's scents everywhere, cedar and leather and something wild that makes my omega instincts sing with recognition. Mine. Something inside me whispers. They're mine. But then the dream shifts. I'm alone in a hospital room. White walls, harsh fluorescent lights. A doctor with no face telling me something I can't quite hear over the ringing in my ears. I look down. My stomach is flat. Empty. No, I breathe. No, where's my baby? Where? The door opens. Derek walks in, smiling that familiar smile that used to make me feel safe. It's better this way, he says. Now you can come home. Now we can start over. just like it should have been. I try to scream, try to fight, but I can't move, can't breathe, can't. River, a hand on my shoulder, gentle but firm. River, wake up. I jolt awake with a gasp, my heart pounding so hard it hurts. Xavier is kneeling beside the bed, his storm gray eyes filled with concern. You were having a nightmare. You kept saying no over and over. I'm shaking. My face is wet. When did I start crying? Hey! His hand comes up slowly, giving me time to pull away. When I don't, he cups my face, his thumb wiping away tears. You're okay. You're safe. Nothing's going to hurt you here. I dreamed, my voice cracks. I dreamed the baby was gone, that Derek took. That's not going to happen. Xavier's voice is absolute. I promise you, River, that's not going to happen. You can't promise that. Yes, I can. He shifts, sitting on the edge of the bed. Dante and Luca are back with your things. They found something at your apartment. My stomach drops. What kind of something? Cameras, hidden in your smoke detector and bathroom mirror. Derek's been watching you. Nausea rolls through me. Oh God. We disabled them. Took them as evidence for Victoria. But River, he pauses and something in his expression makes me go cold. How long were you planning to hide the pregnancy from us? I sit up slowly, wrapping my arms around myself. I don't know. Forever, maybe? Why? Because I was terrified. The words burst out of me. Because I didn't know which one of you was the father, and I couldn't bear the thought of watching you three destroy each other, trying to claim something that might not even be yours. So you were just going to disappear? Raise our pup alone? It would have been easier. For who? His voice rises slightly, and I hear the hurt underneath the anger. For you? For the baby? Certainly not for us. Do you have any idea what it would have done to us if you'd vanished again? If we'd spent years not knowing whether you were alive or dead or... I'm sorry, I whisper. I don't want your apology. He stands abruptly, running a hand through his dark hair. I want your honesty. I want you to stop treating us like we're the enemy when all we've done is try to protect you. You manipulated me. We gave you an option when Derek was about to force a bond you didn't want. He spins back to face me. And yeah, maybe we should have told you we knew he was coming. Maybe we should have handled it differently. But don't stand there and pretend that night meant nothing. Don't pretend you didn't want us just as badly as we wanted you. Silence falls between us, heavy in charge. I did want you, I finally admit. That's what scares me. His expression softens immediately. Why does that scare you? Because wanting someone gives them power to destroy you. And I've already been destroyed once. I don't know if I'll survive it again. Xavier moves back to the bed, kneeling so we're eye level. River Hayes, look at me. I do. We are not Derek Montgomery, he says quietly, fiercely. We will never reject you, never abandon you, never make you feel like you're not enough. And if it takes the rest of our lives to prove that to you, then that's what we'll do. Tears spill over again. You can't know that. You don't know what the future holds. I know I've never felt about anyone the way I feel about you. His hands find mine, lacing our fingers together. I know Dante can't sleep because all he does is worry about whether you're eating enough, staying warm enough. I know Luca has files on every property within 100 miles where you might be hiding because he can't stand not knowing where you are. I know that pup you're carrying is ours, all of ours, regardless of genetics. And I know that if you give us a chance, we will spend every single day proving we deserve you. My chest is so tight I can barely breathe. What if I can't? What if I'm too broken? Then we'll be broken together. He leans forward, pressing his forehead to mine. You don't have to be fixed to be loved, River. You just have to be willing to try. A sob breaks free, then another, and Xavier pulls me into his arms, holding me while I fall apart. I'm so scared, I whisper against his chest. I know. I don't know how to do this. Neither do we. His hand strokes my hair, gentle and steady. But we'll figure it out, together. Footsteps on the stairs. The door opens. Dante and Luca stand in the doorway, their arms full of boxes and bags. My entire life packed up and brought here. They take one look at me crying in Xavier's arms, and something shifts in both their expressions. Luca sets down the boxes, Dante drops the bags, and then they're both moving toward the bed, toward us, toward, "Come here," Dante murmurs, sitting on my other side. Luca climbs onto the bed behind me, his chest pressed against my back. And suddenly I'm surrounded, held, supported by three alphas whose combined scent wraps around me like safety and home and everything I've been too afraid to want. "We've got you," Luca says softly. "All of us," Xavier adds. "Always," Dante finishes. And for the first time in 8 weeks, maybe for the first time in 5 years, I let myself believe them. The four of us stay like that for what feels like hours, but is probably only minutes. My breathing eventually evens out. The tears stop falling, but none of them let go. "Your things are downstairs," Luca finally says against my hair. "We can bring them up later. Right now you need to eat something." "I'm not hungry." "The pup needs nutrition whether you're hungry or not," Dante counters gently. "Come on, Xavier made soup." "You cook?" I ask, pulling back to look at him. Xavier's mouth quirks. "I have many hidden talents." Something about the way he says it makes heat curl low in my belly. I shove the feeling down. "Fine, soup, but then I'm coming back up here." "Deal." They help me stand, and I'm acutely aware of how careful they're being with me. Like I'm made of glass, like I might shatter at any moment. Maybe I am. Maybe I will. We head downstairs together, and I can't help but notice how they position themselves around me. Dante in front, Xavier beside me, Luca behind, protecting me even in their own house. The kitchen smells incredible. Chicken and herbs and something else I can't identify, but makes my stomach growl despite my claim of not being hungry. "Sit," Xavier orders, pointing to the breakfast bar. I sit. He ladles soup into a bowl and slides it in front of me along with a spoon and fresh bread that's still warm. "Where did you get fresh bread?" I ask. "Made it this morning." I stare at him. "You made bread. From scratch." "I told you. Hidden talents." Dante laughs, leaning against the counter. He stress bakes. Has since we were kids. The more anxious he is, the more carbs appear. So what I'm hearing is that this entire kitchen is probably full of baked goods. 3 types of cookies, 2 loaves of bread, cinnamon rolls, and a chocolate cake, Xavier admits. Despite everything, I smile. "You were really worried." "We all were," Luca says quietly. The soup is perfect, rich and warming and exactly what my body needed. I eat slowly, aware of 3 sets of eyes watching my every move. "Stop staring at me," I mutter. "Can't help it," Dante says unapologetically. "You're here. You're real. You're eating food in our kitchen. Do you have any idea how many times we imagined this?" "Probably not as many times as I imagined never seeing any of you again." Ouch. You asked for honesty. Fair point. I finish half the bowl before my stomach protests. "I can't eat anymore." "That's okay. We'll save the rest." Xavier takes the bowl, and I notice his hands are shaking slightly. He's nervous. They're all nervous. Good, they should be. "We need to talk about the bond paperwork," Lucas says, pulling out his phone. "Victoria sent over the forms. We can do it digitally, but you need to read through everything first. Make sure you understand what you're agreeing to." He hands me his phone. The document is long, pages and pages of legal text that makes my head hurt just looking at it. "Can you summarize?" I ask. "Basically, you're legally recognizing our marks as valid bond claims, all 3 of us. It grants us shared custody rights to any offspring, shared medical decision-making if you're incapacitated, and legal standing to protect you from outside bond claims like Derek's." "And what do I get?" His eyes meet mine. "Protection, financial security, legal rights to our assets, and the freedom to define what this relationship looks like without PAC counsel interference. So I sign this, and I'm bound to all 3 of you legally." "Yes, but not romantically." "Not unless I choose that." "Correct." I scroll through the document, trying to focus on the words, but they blur together, and my head is pounding. And my phone rings. Unknown number, again. I almost don't answer, but something makes me swipe. "Hello? River Hayes?" A woman's voice. Not Victoria this time, someone else. "Who is this?" My name is Dr. Sarah Chen. I'm calling from Seattle General Hospital. I have some information about your pregnancy that requires immediate attention. My blood turns to ice. What kind of information? Dante straightens immediately. Luca's eyes narrow. Xavier moves closer. I'd prefer to discuss this in person, Dr. Chen says carefully. Can you come to the hospital? Today, if possible? Just tell me over the phone. Ms. Hayes, tell me now. A pause. Then, we ran some standard genetic panels on the blood work from your initial OB visit last week. The results came back with some unusual markers. Unusual how? The fetal DNA shows markers from multiple alpha sources, which should be impossible, but in your case it appears that… She stops. Ms. Hayes, are you involved with multiple alphas? That's none of your business. It is if you want to understand what's happening with your pregnancy. Her voice gentles. River, I need you to come in. There's something you need to see. My hands are shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. What is it? Just tell me. The baby isn't showing markers from just one alpha father. Dr. Chen's words fall like bombs. It's showing markers from all three. The world stops. That's not possible, I whisper. I thought so too. But the tests don't lie. Somehow, impossibly, this baby has genetic material from 3 different alpha donors. I've never seen anything like it in my career. River, you need to come in. We need to run more tests, figure out what this means for… I hang up. The phone slips from my fingers, clattering onto the counter. 3 faces stare at me, concerned, confused, waiting. River? Dante's voice sounds like it's coming from underwater. What did they say? I can't breathe, can't think, can't process what I just heard. 3 fathers, 1 baby. Impossible. River, talk to us. Xavier's hand on my shoulder, warm and steady. I look up at them, at Dante, Luca, and Xavier. 3 brothers, 3 alphas, 3 fathers. The baby, I whisper, it's not just one of yours. Luca goes very still. What are you saying? My eyes burn with tears I can't stop. The doctor said the genetic tests show markers from all 3 of you. She said it's impossible, but it's all of ours, Dante breathes. The shock on their faces mirrors what I'm feeling. And then, the front door explodes inward. Wood splinters, glass shatters. Derek stands in the doorway, and he's not alone. 6 alphas flank him, pack enforcers, judging by their identical black jackets. River Hayes, Derek says, his voice cold and formal. By order of the Seattle Pack Council, you're under arrest for bond fraud and falsifying pack documentation. What? I can barely hear my own voice over the ringing in my ears. You claim to be bonded to the Castellano triplets, but our investigation revealed you were already bond promised to me 5 years ago. That promise was never formally dissolved. His smile is vicious, which makes every mark they gave you illegal. And that baby you're carrying? His eyes drop to my stomach. Legally mine. Dante moves in front of me instantly. Over my dead body. That can be arranged, one of the enforcers says, his hand moving to the weapon at his belt. And I realize with crystal clarity that this is about to turn into a bloodbath. Wait, I start. But Derek's already moving forward, and the enforcers are spreading out, and Luca's eyes are starting to glow that dangerous gold. That means his alpha is rising, and Xavier grabs my hand. Our eyes meet. Run, he mouths. Because the baby growing inside me doesn't just belong to 3 alphas anymore. It belongs to the Pack Council, and they're here to take us both. Baby has 3 biological fathers. Derek has legal claim through old bond promise pack enforcers versus Castellano brothers. River must choose, run or fight, council wants the baby. They said I had to choose. But how do you choose between 3 alphas when the baby growing inside you belongs to all of them? And a pack council that wants to take everything away. Part 2, coming soon.